So, welcome to another episode of Confessions of a Male Massage Therapist. Now, if you've been following along so far, up to this point, I'm still working at the spa, and I've given you a couple of the experiences with women that I've had. And we are soon to be approaching the part of the series where I become, for the most part, a massage therapist exclusively for women. Now, this episode is going to kind of give some context as to why did you just become a massage therapist for women there, buddy, right? I know how it sounds for sure, but it actually the way it happened is a little bit more innocent than one would think. Now, I've often spoken about how in massage school it was drilled into the men. It was drilled into us about how it was our job to be appropriate around the female clients because for the most part, massage clients, as far as they told us, were going to be women. Now at the spa, that was true. The spa was probably 90% female. Every once in a while, I had a male client, but for the most part, it was women. Now, while I was working at the spa, of course, I wasn't making enough money, as is the case with most massage therapists. So I would put ads on the internet to try to get house calls. Now, for some of you, this may sound awkward or weird or doesn't sound like it jibes with the current way of things. And that's because it was a while ago. You're talking 2007 to 2010. And though that's only, 10, 15-ish years ago or whatever it is, 10 years ago, yeah, whatever. Um, it was a completely different planet. It was a completely different world back then. The way that men and women interacted with each other it was just nothing like it is now. So it was totally appropriate and normal for people, licensed massage therapists, to put their ads on Craigslist and whatnot to try to get house calls. That was not frowned upon. It was encouraged. So one thing that they did not tell you at all in massage school. I mean, there was zero talk about it whatsoever. Was if you're a male massage therapist and you're doing house calls and what other men were going to expect. They drilled into our head to be appropriate with women, but there was no talk about what happens when you have a male client who has contacted you for a house call. Well, I found out really quick. Um, so the first house call I had was an elderly man. The first male house call I had was an elderly man. And I mean elderly. He was easily 80, 85. I'm not talking like 65. I'm talking like 85. He was somebody's great grandpa. You know what I mean? Um, and as far as I knew, he just wanted massage. Whoa, yeah. So what I found out, not to put too fine a point on it, I'm about 20 minutes into my normal thing. Everybody's draped, stomach down, face down, going to work on the back, right? Flip them over, draped. Everything is normal, professional. And then this guy, he starts grabbing my hand and wanting to like this on my hand. And I went from 0 to 60 really fast. I was like, oh, oh, I've been stupid. I've been naive. And I was so focused at that point as a male massage therapist and not getting caught up with the wrong kind of woman that I didn't realize what I was fixing to realize. So for 85 years old, whatever he was, old, I just kind of put his hand down, finished the massage, and that was that. He didn't try anything funny again, but he definitely made it obvious that he was interested in more than just massage. So it wasn't that much longer after that. I had some male massage clients that were pretty typical, pretty normal. And then I came into one that it's crazy how it all worked out. Now I'm not a big guy, okay? I'm muscular, but I'm not tall. I'm like 5'6", and when I got my full complement of weight on me, I'm about a buck 85. So I've got some girth, but I'm not a big guy. And so I get this client, and he's easily 6'4", 275. I mean, he's a big football player sized dude. And calls me for the house call, and where are we going to do it? Well, we're going to do it in that room. And I don't know what else to say other than to say it was the dick room. Um, he did not present as gay. You wouldn't have known it. But when he brought me to the room where we were to do the massage, it was like somebody's spare room, and it was wall to wall pictures, statues, and photographs, art of naked men. And it was at that point I realized I think they should have probably talked to us about this in massage school about the reality of if you're going to another man's house. They were so focused on women that they've left out the men. So, um, to make a long story short, because I don't want to appear to be bashing anybody, about 45 minutes into the massage, where the situation I found myself in was this 6'4", whatever, 275-pound man standing up and getting up off the table and towering over me naked, mad, angry, 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 like legit pissed that he wasn't going to get from me what he wanted. And just as naive as I was to assume that if I was a male advertising for house calls, that the men would just be normal and respectful, as naive as I was to believe that, I suppose he just believed that if a man is offering house calls, he's immediately willing to get sexual. And so that didn't work out so well for me. And he was he did not get physical with me, but boy, there were a few moments when I thought he might. He was he wasn't agitated or aggravated or any. He was pissed. He was genuinely pissed. And when you're sitting in a room by yourself in the house, and the guy's 100 pounds heavier than me, and with all of the art and the paraphernalia that he had on the wall, kind of started to get nervous in terms of like, well, this is not normal. What else does he have that's not normal? I was worried that he was going to pull out a weapon. So I managed to calm that situation down, finish his normal draped massage. He was so pissed. He was so pissed. But he had already paid me. So I said, look, you can take the rest of the massage or you cannot. But this other stuff ain't happening. So he calmed down, but you could still feel the anger and the energy coming off him. Finished the massage, left. And what's interesting, before I get into the rest of it, what's interesting is you would think the story would be like, well, I never saw him again. But actually, about a year later, I happened upon a yard sale, and he was running the yard sale. And wouldn't you believe, and this was so unfortunate, I felt so bad. He had actually been in a car accident and lost the use of both his legs. He was now a paraplegic, and he was in the wheelchair selling his stuff, selling all of his stuff to pay for his medical bills. He didn't recognize me. Luckily, I don't. If he did recognize me, he didn't say anything because there was other people there in public. The point is that you would think the story would be like, I never saw him again, but I actually did, and I just felt a lot of empathy and sympathy for him because, you know, what sexuality don't matter to me. If he didn't hurt me, he did not get physical with me, but now he had lost the ability. He was a younger guy. He was in his 40s or 50s. So what ended up happening after that was I immediately went and changed all of my advertising to women only. Now, as you'll find out in subsequent episodes, that got real, all 5, 10. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count all the really interesting ways that went not as I anticipated. So the original reason for me becoming a massage therapist only for women was because I didn't want to be in a room with a man who was 100 pounds heavier than me, pissed off that he wasn't going to get a happy ending. I wanted to kind of nip that in the bud. So now, over the years with my female clients, they did introduce me to husbands and friends. If somebody recommended a guy, and I actually did have a couple of gay clients, and they never even, I think they tried to hide that they were gay from me, but I kind of knew, right? But they never made any moves on me or anything like that. Once I put in the ad for women only, then I stopped getting the other. And that was okay with me because it was very frustrating. I felt kind of, I don't know, not robbed, but I felt kind of shafted by the school that, they had spent so much time drilling into us how to act around the women, and nobody had been like, and by the way, there's like a big gay community in this area. If you do house calls, you might want to be upfront with them about what they want and what they don't want. So stay tuned. It's going to get, I'm doing this series slowly now. I hadn't done it in a couple of weeks because one of my dogs passed away. Ellie passed away. And I am still parsing through the stories because there's some I can tell, some I cannot tell, and some that I have to change some of the details because if people put A, B, and C together, they might be able to identify people. So I don't want to do anything like that. So the story, I may not be every week because I'm still, like I said, I'm still parsing through the stories. But I'm gonna give the goods. Don't worry. I'm gonna give the goods on the ones that I can, and the ones that I can't, I'll just tell you up front that I have to rearrange this story. But it's, as they say, based on a true story. So that's it for today's video. Hit that subscribe button. I felt like taking a break today from doing the video reviews. I've been doing reviews of other content creators. I'm going to get back to that a little bit, but I want to throw these couple videos out here today as a little bit something different. Appreciate all the new subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I'll see you again soon.